Hey, what's up, good people? We live. It's all the way live. Hey, I got my brothers here, Kenan Grace and Stock Mo. It's my birthday. I just want to be happy. I just want to have a good time. We're going to talk about stocks. We're going to talk about crypto. But until then, where is my intro? I'm going to play this intro and we going to party. What's up, good people? What's up, good people? How y'all doing? Y'all doing well out there? Listen, it's the Fed has talked, the market rebound, it's my birthday, and my 100,000 plaque just got here today on my birthday. How cool is that? But more important, I got my two brothers, Stockmo and Kenan Grace. Let's show them some love on this show. Let's give some hand claps. Let's get some hearts out there for Stockmo and Kenan Grace. I love my YouTube brothers. How y'all doing?
I got to say, happy birthday, my friend. It's not easy turning 29, especially your second or third time out there.
Come on,
I'm
man.
just excited to be back. I can't wait to talk. It's been a fabulous day, I think, for a lot of our viewers out there. And being here with Kenan and you, this is the best way to spend a birthday in my mind with my family from another family, if you will. So I'm happy to be back.
My brothers from other mothers.
You got it.
How about you, Kenan?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I want to say happy birthday as well. Can everyone in the chat hit the like button? It's Larry's birthday. We got to celebrate everybody. Let's try to get this video, if we can, to 100% likes.
Let's get it. 100% likes. And you know what, man? I dressed up for y'all. I dressed up for y'all. What? Got my Sunday go to meeting on, my birthday suit. All right, we're gonna have some fun today. It was a good day, wasn't it?
Oh my God, yeah.
Man, it was a good day in the market, man. I just, you know, I was praying last night. I was like, don't let the market crash on my birthday. I was like, and then you guys, I don't know about you, but after Jerome Powell gives good news, I just want him to shut up and go away. But he kept talking. He kept talking. And I was like, please don't say nothing. Please don't crash the market. Please. And I was just like, please, Jerome, the white guy with the black name, Jerome Powell, don't crash the market. and actually the market jumped up. Hey, Mo, have you ever seen a white guy named Rufus?
Rufus, no, but I have Jerome in our family.
Jerome?
Yeah. So, yeah. So go figure.
Oh my goodness. Hey, you guys.
Rufus, no, but no Rufus.
No Rufus?
I don't even know a Rufus.
Hey, I'm going to say I appreciate these super chats already. I love you guys. It's my birthday. So you know what? I always say, no thanks and all of that. But now bring them on. Bring all the super chats on. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
let's
sir.
get enough to get him a steak dinner.
Right. And so I see somebody says 100K plaque. Yeah, I just get my 100K plaque, and today I hit 570,000, and today I just get my 100K plaque. So that goes to let you guys know how bad this system is, how bagged up it is with the supply chain. It's crazy. Hey, Mo, I just want you to tell me what you're thankful for, and then I'm gonna come back. So get ready. I want you to do like a market update of what Jerome Powell talked about, right? And then Kenan, then I'm gonna call on you after that, Kenan. I want you to tell me what you're thankful for, and then I just want you to give me like a overall crypto update, if you will. All right. So, and then we'll just keep it rolling from there. So, Stock Mo, what are you the most thankful for first?
Well, for me, it always comes down to family. I'm always thankful, very thankful for the medical field down at Penn State, down at Hershey, to help save my wife's life. I'm always happy she was able to beat a cancer that unfortunately a lot of people cannot get through. They gave her a real low chance, like 18% chance of beating it. She had stage 3 colorectal cancer. And thankfully, the surgeons, and after basically 2 years of operations, chemo, radiation, a lot of families out there suffering through this. You're not alone. Yeah. We're all in this together. I was blessed to be able to have my wife come out of that and made our family even stronger. And I'm very thankful for that. Above all other things is the health of my family and friends. And I'm thankful that you're here with me on your birthday, Larry. I couldn't ask for a better way to spend it. And I'm just very, very blessed to be here. So that is one of the main things. I'm always thankful for that.
You know what, Mo?
I went from
before you go into
basically having a decent financial security for retirement to losing everything through that cancer. And okay. I've been on both sides of the fence. And with this community, I've been able to work my way back up, which is, I'm very thankful for this community. And I strive to do the best I can to bring the best opportunities. Now, with that being said, we had a lot of news today. And you wanted to know what, my take on Jay Powell. I call him old Grandpa Jay Powell out there, hitting us sometimes good, sometimes bad. I was with Larry, man. I'm like, okay, Jay Powell, the stock market's dropping. You're saying the wrong things. Oh, there it is. Yep. He takes off. When we hear him talking and we hear Jay Powell come out and they're talking about the Fed, I thought this was the hawkish, the most aggressive I've ever heard them speak. Pencil in the next 6, 7 rate hikes. I think he said 7 rate hikes. Pencil it in. And we'll see where they go. I think they will be aggressive with that. Yeah. I think the financial stocks will look good. We know China. This is the big news. Yep. Boy, oh boy. Talk about a 180 coming out today, or I should say yesterday. They're 12 hours ahead of us. And just basically saying we're going to work with our U.S. counterparts. We are absolutely all for helping out foreign listings of our stocks. That's the VIEs. You keep hearing the threats of, delistings. They're like, no, we're here to help. We're going to support it. We're all for helping. We're going to work with the U.S. on the accounting and auditing issues. I have never seen them come out as aggressive as the statements they were making to actually help the markets over in China and saying they're going to support their markets on top of that. This is the most aggressive I've heard them speak. Yes. You put this together, 2 of the largest economies in the world, governments coming out saying we're going to get this done. I was excited, and you could see the market reacted nicely. And I got to say something, Larry. I watched your video from yesterday, and I got a question before Kenan jumps in. Yes. Did your buddy buy NEO? I saw him saying, I hated NEO last week. I'm going to buy NEO this week. So Josh, he said he was going to buy it yesterday. If he bought it, he was up 25% today. So did he get into it?
I believe he did. I believe he made that. So that's how we do it. And sometimes, to be honest with you, I'll say I'm not going to, and then he'll convince me, and then I'll just get a little bit of it and participate on the run. And this time I didn't. Doggone it. I didn't. I didn't. But I believe he did. And, that's the way we go. I mean, he called it perfect. As a matter of fact, check this out. This is exactly where he said. This is the chart. He said, buy it at 74. Take it out there, man. I mean, that's just it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy the way he called that. I mean, he just called it right off. But we have a lot of those discussions, and we share it with the people. So, Kenan, what you grateful for, Kenan?
I'm grateful that it's your birthday. I'm grateful that you get another one. I hope that you get 100 more. And maybe I'm
not
grateful
100.
that the stock market is maybe 200. Now, listen, I'll tell you this. Also, I'm grateful that the stock market is bouncing. I'm grateful that Jerome Powell didn't surprise everyone and actually kind of stuck to his guns where he said that the 25 basis points. Now, in terms of what Stock Mo was saying, that's one of the more interesting things I'd say overall on the market in general. We knew the rate hike thing. That was not a certainty. You have to pencil in what the government says or the Fed, what they say. But China, 180, total 180. When I heard that, when I woke up this morning, I went to my Discord community and then I showed them. I'm like, guys, China, they flipped the script, right? So I said, be on the lookout for Alibaba. So then we started running call options on Alibaba.
Yes.
Went up basically 100% today. Like it was going crazy over there. So you know what? Don't get married to the uptrend though.
Yes.
If you're watching this, don't get married to the uptrend. Never get married to any
can I
on the stock market.
Hey, Kenan.
Go for it.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
We got Stock Curry in the house. Thank you, Stock Curry, for the super chat. Listen, y'all, one of these days we gotta have Stock Curry on with us one of these days. Okay? Stock Curry is I believe one of the most underrated guys out there on YouTube. He's extremely helpful and extremely knowledgeable. I don't know if you gentlemen check him out, but I just want to give him a shout out. Thank you for that birthday blessing, Stock Curry. Love you, brother.
Yeah, major shout out to that. Appreciate you, man. And we definitely got to have him on here. I agree with that. I love Stock Curry, my guy. And I do also want to just jump in again and say, don't get married to the direction that the stocks are moving in now.
Yes.
Especially if you are trying to trade or you're trying to go long. And let's say that you may have missed the ride of the last 2 days, then it'll drop again. It's the market. It is what it is. It'll drop, and then you can get back in low and then ride the wave back up. But at the end of the day, what you do have to understand is the fundamentals of a company in terms of, are they becoming better as a company? And if you invest into a company that you realize is they're getting more customers, they're having more sales, their revenue is growing, but the stock price is dropping down, then guess what? This is called a deal. When the stock comes down, but the company goes up, you want to buy great companies as low as you can. And now, in terms of cryptocurrency,
yes,
buy great crypto. I'm talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum. Make those the foundation, not financial advice. That's my opinion.
Right.
Make those the foundation of your portfolio and dollar cost average in. There's going to be times where you hear people say, man, I'm selling out all crypto. And then you know what? You say, do I believe in Bitcoin in the year 2030, in the year 2040? What is my goal with this, right? And then you dollar cost average in. Because when it dips down to the 29,000, 28,000 level, 30,000 level, and then you don't get it, in the future, you're going to tell yourself, man, I could have had Bitcoin at 28,000 and now it's 100,000. So always keep that in mind.
That is absolutely. So I'm going to ask you this. We know that Bitcoin is just like a hold, right? We know that Ethereum, stable, it's a hold. Name me one more that you will add to that. I'm going to tell you what mine is, and that's, they always get on my case when I say Solano. I'm going to look in the camera and say, Solana. Thank you guys for helping me with my speech impediment. So I'm slowly starting to move. Of course, we got ADA in there, even though ADA took a bloodbath. We know that. But I'm adding Solana to that. What other one, that other coin that you see is starting to move to that upper echelon of a good long-term buy and hold? You first, Kenan, and then you think of one, Mo.
So the one that I have in mind is Matic, which is Polygon. Now, it's the 17th biggest crypto in the world right now, per market cap. If you look at it, it's worth nearly $1 billion. It's dropped, and we like to pick them up after they drop. The reason that I'm saying Matic is, you know how the whole NFT rollout is happening as we speak, right? And remember, NFTs are not just pictures. They can be audio recordings. They can be videos. There was actually a movie that was sold as an NFT, right? This is how you add media to the blockchain. Now, the reason I'm saying Matic is if you go to a website called OpenSea that was recently hacked, what you'll see is every single person on there. Can you guys hear me? Am I echoing? Oh,
no, that was me. Right. My tech was giving me instructions.
Okay. All right. I thought I was echoing, but we're good. So check this out. What you're going to see over there on OpenSea is that most people are using Polygon to make NFTs because it is extremely cheap. And you can put things on the blockchain And guess what? Instead of using Ethereum, if you wanted to make an Ethereum transaction, let's say it was a $10 transaction, you might very well have to pay $80 in gas fees. A gas fee in a cryptocurrency is literally just a fee that you have to pay to use the blockchain in Ethereum. So since the Ethereum blockchain is so congested in this way, while we wait for the Ethereum 2.0 rollout, we're still waiting for that, right? For now, Polygon. Polygon is the cheap way to make NFTs. So then many people are using it, even though they may not even understand the Polygon blockchain, but then they see that it's cheaper. So it's the utility. And that's why I like Polygon.
Yep, I do too. How about you, Mo? Mo, can you hear me? Well, I will tell you, I like Matic. I like Polygon. Also,
okay. I just so you know, Larry, if you can I can hear you. If you can let me back in on the other eCam. Let me back in on the other eCam. We had a disconnection there. So I'm going to continue on here and
let you back in on the other camera. Okay.
We got a little delay here. So as I'm going through this, that's the issue. So I'm not hearing you quite live, but to answer, so to continue this as I'm going through this,
you got to send me.
This is what I got for you. I like Sandbox. Sandbox to me is your play of the day when it comes to the metaverse. Obviously, I think Mana's good. I know that's Uncle Larry's. He brought that to me back in the day, but I really like Sandbox. I think some of the gaming cryptos out there are the way to go. We're going to see a lot of opportunity with that. That's going to grow. The metaverse is going to get hundreds of billions of dollars invested, not into the trillions over the next couple of decades. So think of the internet back when it first got started, back in the 80s and 90s, up through the .com bust. That how much money are we going to see invested? Where do we see this going? And so to me, if you're trying to make money quick, day to day, probably not the best thing. You're going to see wild swings. But as we move through it, we're going to see a lot of opportunity 5-10 years out where you create that generational wealth we're all striving for. And so that's kind of how I look at it and where I see the crypto market going. Now, Ethereum's still my go-to. I think Ethereum is it. You go with Ethereum, you have done well. As Ethereum goes, most of these altcoins, including the metaverse gaming, they're going to go. So Ethereum's my number one, and I got probably 90-something% of my money invested in Ethereum in my crypto investments, which is substantial.
I want to thank everybody for your super chats. Just keep them coming. It's my birthday, and I appreciate everyone. Thank you for your birthday wishes. We're going to get to reading some of them. Mo, I want to say, if you want me to bring your other camera in, you got to send another request. If you can hear me. Call. Yep. All right, I'm going to just give you my phone. All right, hey, Kenan. What you want to talk about, man? Let's help the people with what Jerome Powell said.
All right, so I got a few notes on that actually, so I'm glad you brought that up. That's actually quite important today. For those of you who have not hit the like button, let's take a second and remember to do that. Now, hold up. 3, 2, 1. Oh, the like buttons are hit. I can feel it coming in. Now, let's talk about this. Stockmo alluded to this, and there's expected to be about 7 more rate hikes in the upcoming months before 2023 is out. Now, why is this important? Because it seems as if the Fed, they want to just get inflation low as possible, not as quickly as possible, but rather quickly, because it's actually substantially high. So now when we look at the rate hikes, the reason this is important is, notice this. You may have been getting 10 calls. If you own a home, 10 calls like a year about, hey, are you ready to refinance your house? We can get you a lower rate, right? You hear about these lower interest rates on car loans, on all of these kind of credit card loans. Once the rates are back up high, it's going to be significantly more expensive to borrow money. And guess what happens when it becomes expensive to borrow money? The money stops flowing so much. And then this brings that inflation. The demand comes down. And then you know what? Now the prices of everything have to come down. So you have to be on the lookout for that. And now what I'm doing to help everyone who's going through this is we're working on something called the 26-week challenge, where from now until 26 weeks, which is somewhere around October, September, in that range, we're going to have $5,000 following a specific plan. Why? So when everything settles out and we get used to the rate hikes just rolling in, we get used to the volatility, we're going to have cash that we can then deploy and then knock it out of the park. So you know what time it is.
Hey, I want to talk about that because that's very important. Now, myself, I have a $5 a day challenge. Mo has a challenge, right? Or Mo has. All three of us have something, and I just started checking out your system, Kenan. Love it, right? So I actually have a portfolio called Buy the Dips, and that's essentially what it is, where I have accumulated money and I just wait for the market to tank and I buy the dips, right? But I also, what I'm pushing people to do is, for those of you, it's called $5 a day challenge, but that's just for people that can only afford what? A cup of coffee, $5 a day. Everybody can invest, right? So if you can afford $10, $20, $50, $100 a day, then that's what you do. And what I'm doing is dollar cost averaging through this market, through the bear market, through the correction, through the crash, because when we get to the bull market, some of your stock will be up 100, 200, and some will be up 300% in the next 24 to 48 months. And that's the way you do it. Every time you get paid, a little dry powder. I love what Kenan is doing. Also, on top of that, accumulate some money and just have it sitting and just wait. And just wait. And so once they get the signal, what's going to be the signal when they accumulate that money, Kenan?
So what is going to be the signal to start buying?
Yep.
So, all right, now, so this, in my opinion, is going to be more of a technical thing. So we're going to see on the charts, we're going to see retracement. We're going to hit certain resistance levels on the SPY, and then you're going to start to see. And what is the SPY? The SPY tracks the Fortune 500 companies. I'm going to go to the chart right here, right now. You won't be able to see it, but I'll just talk you through it. So we're looking for key specific levels to break through that have already been hit. So this means this will be retracement, right? So it looks like from the chart that I'm looking at right now, the all-time high on the Fortune 500 companies on the SPY is about 478. Once we get back to around, let's call it 450, we're basically out of this bull, this bear trend that we're in. And once we start to see that, but if we get up to, let's call it 460 or so, and then we start to break back down, that means that we're going to continue this downtrend for a little bit more. But as soon as we break through some of those resistance levels, then we back to new all-time highs, baby, and that's exactly what I'm waiting for. And then this should happen over a few months. Remember this, in the stock market, we all like to act like everybody's super logical. We like to act like everyone's following the truth, but we know what's real. It's the fear, the uncertainty, and the doubt. People are afraid that they're going to lose money. They're uncertain if their investments are good, and they doubt all of the news that they see for good reason, for very good reason. So then those things drive the market. So then when we see some more certainty, like, oh yeah, we got one rate hike today. Nobody knew what to expect. But what do you think after the third rate hike, fourth rate hike, fifth rate hike? We're like, all right, yeah, we've been here, done that, right? So then you're going to start to see the fear, uncertainty, and doubt and have more certainty. And then that's going to be one of the best catalysts of all time.
Hey, so listen, we're gonna do a station identification pause right here. Stock Mo, I want you to talk about the system that you have with your portfolio after we take this break, okay? So now, what
Absolutely.
this break is I want everybody, we have twice as many people that have liked the video. Let's get these likes up to 2,000, okay? These gentlemen are to me, are some of the absolute best. I could have had two other gentlemen, so many other YouTubers on, but these are the ones I consider it a blessing to be on live with, and I don't take that lightly. I love these brothers. The reason why I love these brothers is they care about the community. What I want you guys to know is that when we finish these, there hasn't been a time yet, and our wives are probably tired of it. We literally talk for 2 hours after the lives, and most of the conversation is, what can we do better? How can we help people make more money? And I'm just telling you guys, you guys know I keep it real. I've had other ones that called and, hey, can I hang with you guys? And then I listen to their conversation. I'm like, no. But these guys are the real deal. So let's get those likes up, okay? Hey, you know what? I got a little song that I wrote. I'm going to play that a little later. Y'all want to hear a little song that I wrote? I'm going to play a little later. I'm going to redo it. I'm not going to be able to monetize it because I put it out there. But I think it's so appropriate for today. So Mo, you go ahead and take it from there and you tell people how they could build generational wealth using a program that you put together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I got a first thing to say, if you haven't done it yet, make sure, because I know a lot of the people over from my channel over here, make sure you are subscribing to both Kenan and Larry. The link's down below his video. Take advantage of this, man. When you got 3 people dedicating their lives to trying to help the community, bringing that financial awareness out to try to help everyone, it's good to have multiple perspectives out there, because there's a lot of people who are absolute bears. The market's going to tank. It's never coming back. And to me, that's terrible advice. I'm going to put it out there bluntly. I think it's absolutely horrible advice that pushes people away from buying when they should be, and they start selling. You see days like this where you see stocks up 20, 25%, and they're like, now should I buy? Right. And that's one of the things we see. But on to what Larry asked me about, how we create the wealth. I showed you this before, and I'm going to pull it up here as I'm kind of describing it. But we talk about how to invest over at my place, and one of the things we do is that we can dollar cost average into it. And I'm going to pull this up. I got it on here, Larry. I don't know if you can blow it up here, but for anybody that invests 10% of $40,000, and just say you're 35 or 30 years old and you start with nothing, and you get the market average is 10.6%, and you would end up, we'll put this at 0, put it at 0, you end up with $1.35 million by the time you retire. And I know it's hard to see, so we'll go back to me here. But that's one way of doing it. But what I'm doing right now is I started $100 a week, S&P 500, $100 a week. And I have these portfolios over the YouTube portfolios I share with all of YouTube. And you can see it every Monday. I buy them and I update it. And I put it in VOO. Then I have another portfolio just for YouTube where it's conservative. And it's conservative stocks based on fundamentals and PE ratios and all the things that make them solid. Some things that I think it should underperform on green and not get crushed as much on red. It's doing exactly that. And then I set up an aggressive portfolio. This portfolio for $100 a week, if you want the ultimate risk, this is that portfolio. High growth stocks. These are the ones that are going to go multiples of whatever the market does. And then I have the crypto portfolio, $100 a week. I'm going to be putting into different cryptos. That's all for YouTube, and I update that every Monday, and you can see that and follow along with that. So that's one of the things I'm doing to try to help people out. But the key is you got to invest in yourself, invest daily, invest weekly, invest monthly, whatever you can do. But I will say this, I challenged every one of my students when I was teaching this, both at the high school and college levels, to take 10% minimum of your paycheck. I don't care how old you are, and put it into a fund, a retirement fund, or just a fund of some sort, and start investing now. It's never too late and it's never too early. The earlier the better, and you create that generational wealth you want, or at least get that fund set up so you can retire yourself at a decent age. That's my opinion on all that.
Kenan Grace, if
let me ask you.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I wanted to say this. I woke up today and I was thinking, can you guys hear me well?
Yep.
I was thinking to myself, man, like it was something that you said, Larry, a while ago. I think it might have been the first time that we did this, right? All 3 of us. And I was thinking, you know, why do we do what we do? Why do we get on here when, you know, we know how to trade, we know how to invest, we know how to find new areas in which we can grow, because nobody's perfect, but we know how to do all of these things. And why do we do what we do? And it's because, you know what, we can go and trade, and you shared a Disney call option with us the other day and showed us how much money you made just off a call, right?
Yeah.
And the reason we do what we do is because we can make money trading, but if we go do it somewhere in the dark, then how are other people going to learn? How are other people going to grow? And then that's so important to me. It means so much to me to see other people grow. Now, you know, I've been blessed to, I'm 31 years old. I just recently turned 31 years old, for those of you that don't know. And I feel like I've seen people who, when I was a teenager, I've seen people die. You know, I've seen people who don't even know who their dad's name is, and their mom probably doesn't even know who their dad is. I've seen things like this growing up. And not to get too personal, I remember the first time I ever saw somebody die, and I saw it. I was a kid, and I was waiting at the bottom of the hill. Me and maybe 20 other kids. We were waiting for the school bus, and it had to be 7 a.m. Right? I grew up in the hood. You know, many people did, so don't cry for me. I made it, but I want to just tell you this: there was a school bus, and we're waiting for it. We're sitting at the bottom of the hill, and we look up the hill. It had to be 7 a.m. Right? They start shooting up the hill. And then they shot somebody in the back. It had to be 10 men. They shot somebody in the back. He falls to the ground. Nobody at the school bus stop runs. Nobody. All of us, we just standing there as if this was just normal. And the reason I bring this up is because we then go to school, and then the whole school day is shot. All of us are in therapy the entire time, and we never even heard of what that even is, right? And this is a world that I was in when I was in 2nd grade. Right? I didn't even get into any of the other things that ever happened to me. So then in order to make it here, I want to get to a point where I don't have to ever hear that this happened to a second grader again. I don't want to ever see people who are forced to ride the bus because they can't afford a car. You see what I'm saying? I want to be able to help you save your money so then your money can save you. Invest your money so then your money will invest into your own future. And I want that. I just want to see everybody win. And then I started to get up really, really early, like 5 a.m. And I'm working on videos in the morning, and I put them out. People are like, man, Kenan, you so tired. You look like you're getting tired. I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. But if I stop, then what if you stop? What if one person other than that stops? And you're going to get tired on your journey. It's going to happen. But you know what? You got to make things happen for yourself. And I want to just be the example that if you can go, then go. You got this. And I believe in you. And I just want to just leave it right there.
Listen, I want to say something. This family, hey, and when I mean family, I mean all of you guys watching. We're family, and man, we encourage one another. I happen to know that there were days when Kenan was on camera and he was, suffering from loved ones getting horrible news, and he just gets on camera and he smiles. The same thing with me. There were days where I literally left a funeral. There was one time, believe it or not, during COVID of last year, I left a funeral, came, put on a smile, shot a video, and then the next day went to another funeral. And these are loved ones. These are our close friends and loved ones to keep the family fed. And to be honest with you, because I was so inundated and focused on feeding the family, I missed out on $2,800 of a trade that I just forgot about. And so, yeah, we could sit and just make money all day. But the truth of the matter is, we ain't going to make trillions of dollars. It's not a fish tank. It's an ocean. I'm going to keep saying this. And so that's why we keep coming to you guys with everything we can, because I'm going to tell you, when the next bull market hit, man, we going to party. Man, if those of you that buy through these lows, that buy through the bear market, and if we go through a correction next year, recession next year, those of you that start buying at the right time through the bottom of the correction, recession rather, man, the massive gains that you're going to make by doing what? Doing what's tough. Buying red and selling green. So, that's what we got to do. Mo, what you got to say about that?
I got to tell you, I know I've been reading some of the chat along. I just love the birthday wishes. Once again, quick station break, if you will. Hit that like button. It's Uncle Larry's birthday. Let's get some love out there. It only takes a second. That's a good way to give him a happy birthday. And, of course, subscribe to all the channels. Now, my take on everything, right now, I've said this before. I went out on a limb. I put it out in my videos. I didn't hear a lot of people talking about when they thought the bottom was going to be. All I hear is the FUD from a lot of papers and the news people out there. Oh, the market's crashing. It's the end of the world. But I said I thought that this week would be the bottom, possibly +1 to put in the Fed news. We've got to digest that. And I thought so this week or next week would be the bottom. I'm not surprised at all at some of the rebounds we're seeing in the Chinese place and the U.S. market. So I would not be shocked if we hit the bottom already. And some of the stocks, obviously, there are good ones, there's bad ones, obviously some of the growth stocks, but just a shout out to my Neo family out there. And you can see that thing up 25% today, up again in the after hours. It was a beautiful day. And of course, for those following along with the sandbox, we had this thing up 15%, if you can see it. That was another good day. Ethereum up 5.62. Altogether, for me, it was a good day, and I see great things happening. So I don't think we are going to see this stock market crash. Not only that, I've been loading up over the last week into the market, including through this week, taking advantage of every single red day, and it is paying off huge right now. And so the more fear, the more FUD I see out there from everybody, I'm taking advantage of it. I'm buying through it. And it doesn't mean the volatility's gone away, but the Fed took a big step in saying pencil in 7 rate hikes. They want it priced in. They want the volatility to slow down, which I think we're going to see. And we'll see if there's a recession. The pros are calling for a 25 to 33% chance. I think we'll avoid it. The GDP growth in the U.S. over 2.8. That's fantastic. It's one of the highest in the last 17 years. So we're doing fine. And so it's up to the Fed and see if they can not fall off that wire they're walking down. And we'll see if that goes right. But right now, I'm loving what I'm seeing out there. And I think the gains will continue. We had some red after big days like this. I'm not surprised to see a little bit of red like the next day. We got the quad witching coming up on Friday. That's huge. That only happens, four times a year. So that's coming up on Friday. After we get through that, I expect to see a decent run starting either next week or the week after and just continuing on. And we're already starting out all right now.
Hey, you know what? The market had priced in more than 0.25%. That's why it went green. The market had priced in a lot. And that's what we have to understand. So I had people like a month ago, yeah, but didn't you say March 16th? The market started pricing a lot of stuff in already. The market will tell you by its reaction. So when we went up 0.25%, the market actually priced in to a certain percentage. At first it was 30%, then it was 40%. Of the market had already priced in actually 0.5%. So if you notice in the last half hour, it jumped up another 2. We were up 300 points and rejoicing at that. And then the Dow, and then by closing bell, it was up 500 points. As soon as the Fed got through talking, of course. So we just have to listen to the market and don't get married to a stock. We cannot get married to a stock or move. There are some stock that you buy and you hold, and there are some stock that are swing plays. So I'm going to ask you, Mo, what is your generational stock? What is the stock crypto that you will hold for a generation? Because if you want to truly build generational wealth, you have to hold a stock or a crypto for a generation. Go ahead, Mo.
Well, that's a good one for me. Here you go. I'm going to pull this up just so you can kind of see it. For those that don't know, this is Tesla on the chart. And all you got to see is this thing. It went parabolic, came back down a little bit. And at the end of the day, if I had to pick one company that I think is going to change the game, and I don't just mean EVs. Anybody that follows Tesla knows Tesla's not just an EV company. This thing does so much more. And you're going to see a lot of different things. And the expansions into the different sectors is not going to be surprising over the next few decades. I mean, this is going to be a company as we go 10 years out. Is it going to be worth $800 billion or is it going to be worth $8 trillion? We don't know in 10 years. It depends what they come up with and the important different services and products they're developing. It's going to be a game changer. So this is the stock that if I had to pick one, I'm going to hold this thing for a long time. It could go multiples quickly. We know in 2020, I think it went up 10 times in a 12-month period. So the opportunity is there for it. We don't know what's going to be the next thing it comes up with. Think Apple back in the day when they came out with the iPod. It changed everything. And so what's going to be the next thing that Tesla does? Now, when you talk about crypto, crypto for me, it's a no-brainer. It's still Ethereum. Everything being built on Ethereum. Ethereum is going to overtake Bitcoin, and you're going to see the fact that they're moving to proof of stake is the important thing, because proof of work right now is energy intensive. You're seeing a lot of governments around the world saying, we're trying to get away from like Russia and Ukraine, Russian oil going into the Eastern European, all of Europe being dependent, like Germany's highly dependent on it. So anytime you see a crypto that takes up a ton of energy, the talks are going to be moving forward. What can we do to reduce energy? Crypto always gets that bad rap, which, a lot of businesses are energy intensive. So I personally like Ethereum. They're moving into the proof of stake. They are going to be a solid crypto moving forward. They continue to grow. You see that. And a lot of apps being built on it. The DeFi space is fantastic. There's so many good things going on right now with Ethereum that I'm just juiced to see once we get through the merge, which hopefully will happen before the end of June, and getting into the different parts out there to bring that cost of transactions down. It's going to be huge. I can't wait to see it where we can get 100,000 transactions per second on the Ethereum network. It might take a year or two, but we will get there. And there are the two that I believe could create massive generational wealth. And a little bonus for people, if you're looking for something that's a little higher risk, that's not already blown up, I'm going to tell you what, I really like DraftKings. I think DraftKings will dominate the gambling industry in the US and around the world. And so that is one that's very, very much high risk. And don't sleep on SoFi.
I agree with you. I'm going to have my tech come in here, and we're going to get Kenan Grace back on. Here, I see him in the background there. Do it. Hey, so I agree with you. The one that used to be the whole was the Apple for a generation. It was Apple for me. I actually moved into Tesla. So I got one foot on Tesla, and I got now another foot on NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA for the next 12 to 15 years is going to be huge, even more. Just NVIDIA. So I've kind of moved from Apple to Tesla and NVIDIA. I just think that it is going to be humongous, especially when you talk about the metaverse and what's needed for 3D chips. And I know there's AMD in there, but NVIDIA, I believe, is going to be massive in the next 10, 15, 20 years, even the next 5 years, okay? And you guys know it's just so stable to me. It's Bitcoin. I believe within the next 12 years, Bitcoin could be in the area of $1 million. That's just what I believe. Now, anything we say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell, but that's what it is with me. Kenan, did we ask you this question?
I didn't get to answer it yet, but quick question. Now that I'm back in, how's my audio? Is it okay?
It's perfect.
Audio's perfect. Excellent.
Yep.
So, you know what? I gotta agree. I gotta agree with the Tesla. I gotta agree. I think NVIDIA is a banger, but like I'm telling you, if I really had to pick one, I really would say if it was just one, I would go with Tesla, because I feel as if Tesla is almost its own index fund. It's almost its own ETF. The reason being is we all know they're killing it in the EV game. They literally disrupted the traditional automaker world, right? Not only the car manufacturing world, the oil industry, right? They're disrupting that because they're not totally dependent on it. They don't have to be. If we can figure out a way to get cheaper energy, then other than oil, then guess what? They can let oil go. So then they disrupted that. We know that they're working on their solar power, right? Their battery, their power, the storage of power, right? They're working on that. They're working on, come on, Elon is really, really doing it. And to just take you here, notice how you're starting to hear that things like Ford are starting to get into the EV space. You're seeing companies pop up like Mullen, right? You're seeing companies pop up like Lucid. And why are they doing this? You're hearing Apple is getting into the EV space because they're following what Tesla is doing. But remember, Tesla, they're not trying to catch up to Tesla. They're on to the next thing. So you're starting to see Elon Musk talk more about things that sound crazy now, but watch in 10, 15 years, 20 years even, how you might start to see more autonomous robots doing regular rote kind of tasks. And you're starting to see Elon Musk talk about these things. But I promise you this, 20 years ago, telling people that there's going to be 5% EV or cars on the road are going to be like EVs, 2%. People are like, nah, no way. The oil company is too dominant, right? They would have said Toyota is too dominant. All of these other companies are too dominant. There's no way they could penetrate that much with electric vehicles. They would have gave you the excuse that how are they going people are not going to want to have their electricity bill go up, right? They would have told you all of these different kind of things. But remember, we're going to see as time goes on, there's going to be more autonomy, and you're going to start to even see jobs that people have that are kind of like manually intensive. Like, for example, and not even the most manually intensive, just let's call it lower skilled work, like being a cashier, for example. It's not like if you're a brain surgeon, you're going to start to see robots doing these things, which we are already starting to see the rollout of, where you go to Walmart, for example, and you see the self-checkout, and now there's only one cashier who's manning basically 10 registers, right? Because they're trying to roll people out, because robots don't have to have health insurance. They don't have to have any of those things. So then just imagine if you see big companies getting into the autonomy field, at least follow the story, because this is where the money is moving.
I'm going to tell you guys something. Oh, it's this, Rodney. It's this. When I go to me on top, excuse me, there we go. Okay, it's one of the buttons. All right. Hey, I'm going to tell you something about Tesla. So I got on the page and I said I was out with a friend and they bought 40 shares of Tesla when it went. I was live and we were talking about Tesla and it went to $700 last week. Remember when it dropped down to $700? That friend did it and I also did it. All right. So, but I did it at a lower price. I literally bought 40 shares of that Tesla when it hit 700. And I was on live and then I literally grabbed my phone and I started doing it. I just don't like to talk about it on, with my, I don't know. It's just, I don't get down when guys are real braggadocious like that, but just understand that I had sold a lot of stock for profit and I was waiting on that day, but I had to wait, 6 months for it to get back there. But I was ready. Like Kenan says, I want you guys to follow Kenan's program and to get that cash ready, right? Just get that cash ready. And what happens was when it went back up to 8.5, I sold some of it because I believe that there's going to be some volatility to come back down. Now I have some and I sold some. And so I agree with you with Tesla. Under Vegas, underground, they're boring tunnels. Like, I mean, they're so far ahead of everything else. They're not just a car company. They're an electric company. I know we go over this every time we talk about Tesla. How can you put Tesla in a box? And then if you want to lose some money, short Tesla, right? And so I agree with all you guys' picks. I mean, I've seen guys that have had picks that wasn't so hot. All right. So, hey, let's take another station identification. Let's hit that like bell. Let's hit the like button if you're new to the page. And in this video, I have at the bottom, I have both of these gentlemen's pages. If you're watching my page right now, which I'm streaming from this page, this is Stock Up with Larry Jones. I will tell you that if you listen to me and you're making money, and a lot of you have made money, we've made a lot of money. I'm telling you, if you want to make more money, subscribe to these two gentlemen's page, because I stand behind their stock picks, and I don't know what they're doing day by day, but I stop in on both of their pages, and I stand behind their motives. They want us, the salesman, the hotel worker, the bus boy, the truck driver, the farmer, the mill worker. They want us to make this money. This is ours for the taking. All we have to do is act smart, think smart, and be patient. So I just want to say that. In the links below, you'll see Stock Mo's link, and you'll see Kenan Grace's link. I'm suggesting to you guys, I sign off on it. Subscribe to these gentlemen's page, right? Then check out all the links below. Hey, can I play a quick song and then we're going to get right back into some stocks? I want you guys to listen to this song. And you know what? I'm going to play it at the end. These people they don't want to hear this song right now. Let's just keep it going. Let's keep it going.
I didn't
can
get
I
to
add
say
something to
my
that?
crypto.
Yeah, go ahead. Say
Go
your
ahead.
crypto.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
here
yeah,
you
my
go. So
crypto.
oh,
Go
Well,
ahead,
you
I
go.
got.
Keenan.
Mo, go ahead.
Keenan, you go with your
Hold on
crypto,
here.
and then Mo, you come back behind that.
I
All
keep it
right.
brief. I keep it brief, and you might even agree with this. I think the crypto to go with is actually quite simple, and I think it's Ethereum. If you go Bitcoin, you'll be all right. But I think Ethereum is the way to go. The reason is you got to see Bitcoin kind of like gold.
I
Gold
can't
is what
bring
it is,
myself to the
right? It's
top.
just a store of
Yeah,
value.
because when I
But
bring myself to the
Ethereum
top.
is the first crypto on at scale that could actually do something, that actually has use cases. The only problem with Ethereum right now, you're going to see many new cryptos try to solve because they're trying to be a better Ethereum, and then they try to market it as, look, we're like Ethereum, but we're even better. Guess what? Smart contracts, that's Ethereum, right? They brought that to the forefront. When you think about being able to be a platform where you can make NFTs and all these other things, Ethereum, they brought all of this stuff to the forefront. But then, you know what? You're going to get all of these little other kind of coins, which are still great, but they're more so remixes of Ethereum. So Ethereum is basically the first cryptocurrency at scale that has crazy use cases. And then they're coming out with Ethereum 2.0. It's scheduled for like 2 years, maybe. Like you're supposed to see it like really start rolling out then. And you can actually stake your coins right now. I'm sure Larry might have a, oh, whoa, family, Papa Smurf just sent a $100 super chat to Larry. Happy birthday. Shout out to you. Everybody show Papa Smurf some love and put some 100s in the chat. He's showing love. You show some love back. Let's show him that, you know what? Nobody out here is a hater. What we do is we support the people who support the people we love. Let's do it. Hundreds in the chat for Papa Smurf. Shout out to you, family. But again, it's Ethereum. Stock Mo, it's on you.
Yeah. Okay. So what I was going to say is just talking off of the Tesla we were discussing just a little bit ago. I also want people to remember when we talked about you don't know what Tesla's going to give you opportunity to down the road. We know they talk about robots. We know they talk about the energy. There's so many things out there. The insurance, all of this self-driving could lead to a whole different industry. There's a lot of things, but don't lose sight. Don't sleep on this. Don't forget Starlink. All right. Starlink out there and Elon just came out last summer and stated that he's going to do his absolute best to give long-term Tesla shareholders preference in that Starlink IPO. That's no joke. What are long-term? Does he mean anybody that holds the stock a year or more? You're going to have an opportunity to, arguably, in my opinion, one of the biggest space-related stocks in history, and it could continue to dominate moving forward. But he's waiting for, I believe he's just said he's waiting for when it has reliable revenue that is predictable. And then he said that's just a few years away. So 2-3 years from back in early 2021, that could be leading up there, that 2023, 2024 opportunity for long-term holders of Tesla. So there's a lot of opportunity out there for people. And I think as we move forward, you'll continue to see these kind of opportunities brought to you by Elon and the Tesla family.
Hey, I know this is off the cuff. If you say move on, what's a sleeper cell stock that you guys think that is out there? Like just a sleeper cell that you think right now is just, set to go.
I got you. I know exactly what I have in mind.
Go ahead.
And this one is, oh yeah, it's controversial. And I'm coming for the controversy, baby. It's Facebook. Take a symbol FB, also known as Meta. Why?
Yeah, man.
You may say this,
Keenan,
right?
Keenan.
Huh?
Keenan,
I'm going for it.
Before you go to the Facebook, man, hit them off with some P's, man. Hit them with the P's.
Oh, hit them with the P's?
Yeah.
Family, I hope you know the 5 P's. Remember that. And I said 5 P's. That's proper preparation prevents poor performance. Say it with me again. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. You got to be prepared, not surprised. Now, the reason that I'm talking about Facebook is, oh man, I don't like Facebook. I don't like Facebook. You know who likes Facebook? Large institutions. They flooding their money in there. You know who likes Facebook? Advertisers. They're flooding their money in there. So if you, and again, this is not saying that you need to go and buy it at any price. You want to buy it at a good price. But I tell you this, Facebook knows how to turn $1 into $2. And then what also is funny is maybe you have the luxury to not need Facebook. But there are people all over the world who they don't have a phone plan. So then they're using WhatsApp or they're using Facebook Messenger or anything like that. And then guess what? They find it as a utility around the world. Don't just think of Facebook like the Facebook platform. Think of all those people, be it women or men, whoever, whatever, that you're liking on Instagram, oh yeah, that's Facebook. That's Facebook. Think of the WhatsApp, that's Facebook. All of it is Facebook, and they know how to turn $1 into two, and they are experiencing basically a drastic downtrend. I don't care how controversial it is. Guess what? Money doesn't have a color or an opinion. Then Facebook is a banger. So, and I'm talking about a race when I say color by just so we clear on that. Remember, just so we clear. And I think Facebook is an absolute beast. Does that mean go pick it up at $200? If you could get it for lower than that, let's go. But make sure you do the technicals, baby. Continue on, family. Let's go.
So I'm going to have to say this. First of all, Papa Smurf, you my dude, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. I love you, bro. You Wakanda
Larry,
forever, brother.
Did you see everybody send them the 100s in the chat? They
I
had to
do
show
the
some
100s,
love.
man. Let's give it up for Papa Smurf, man. I really appreciate that, man. You all right with me. Hey,
Everybody, more 100s in the chat.
More
100s,
100s in the
Smurf
chat
some
for
love.
Papa Smurf, man. Big ups, boy. He hitting hard. So, man, yeah, you the one, Pop. I'll call you Papa. You keep doing that. So listen, I want to agree on the Facebook, and I think Facebook and if I disagreed, I would go, nah, Kenan, you own something. But I do. As a matter of fact, Josh and myself, and we gotta have Josh on the show one of these days. But I will tell you, they quiet. Facebook Meta platforms is quiet. Now, they have invested over $11 billion in the metaverse. 11 billion, right? See, I look at the way people, I study the way people moves. We was just a few months ago talking about how horrible Facebook was because of the way that they allow, the little girl, the little kids and they're not policing their channel, blah, 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 blah. And remember, they pulled him on the carpet. He's testifying in front of Congress. Remember that? And then, boom, they do a name switch. Nobody's talking about any of that. I thought that was kind of brilliant. I was like, nobody's even talking about what happened yesterday and all of this stuff. Facebook is quietly dumping money into the metaverse. And when they unleash that beast, it's going to be the next. That's the type of company that is always working on what's next while we sleep on it, while we looking at it, while it's beat down. And yes, I started picking some up at 195. I told the family, hey, I'm looking at it at 195 and under before I even think about getting it. And so I agree with you there. What you got, Mo?
I got to tell you something. I'm going to jump on this with you. And I have the charts here. I know it's hard to see here, but what you got is Facebook right here. I got my own picks, but I like Facebook. You can look at their fundamentals here. Forward PE. Right now, current PE is around 14.7. This is actually forward next year, 13, 11 by 2024. You can see the numbers. Bad year this year. They already told you that. But they're going to grow. They're going to their things they're going to do. And so good things will happen with Facebook. So I'm right there with you, and we'll see how it goes. Now, my picks, when we talk about that sleeper, I always say over my place, when they're crying, we're buying. And a couple of those stocks that live up to that, we're looking at SoFi. Of course, I'm a huge SoFi fan, but that thing is down 60-something% from the top. And no, I'm not walking away from this thing. I love SoFi. I think it's going to continue to grow. It's going to do its thing. And we know a lot of student loan issues out there. We'll see how that plays out with the government. May 1st, supposed to come back. But that report from the government that don't send out letters about repayment yet to all the student loan servicing companies, that's a big sign that don't be surprised Biden comes out in the next, two months and odd days, way before than I expect, that they're going to postpone it, I think, until after the midterm elections. So you won't see that repayment. Probably, I'm going to call it here. I haven't heard anybody call it. I'll say January 1st. And then the other one I have, Alibaba. For those who want a little exposure in China, Alibaba has fantastic fundamentals. I love my Neo. I got Xpeng Li, Tencent. You got a lot of them out there, but Alibaba is a monster of a company. Combine Amazon, eBay, all these big companies in the U.S., that's Alibaba in one. And so if you're looking for that growth company, but with a valuation that makes it a value play right now, look at Alibaba. So that's down 60-something% from its highs. So there you go. There's two of the ones I like. We'll see how they make out. and a little bit of risk there. There's no doubt about that. But there is opportunity if everything can work out between the U.S. and China for Alibaba and SoFi. We'll see how they do with their marketing. I know it's running a little hot, but I do believe long term they're going to do very, very well.
Hey, I just want to clean the house a little bit. Let me tell you guys something. So I got my brother here. This is my brother, Rodney Jones. Okay, he's a minister of the gospel. All right. So he helps us out. He helps us out when we having technical difficulties. And I was just asking him about a scripture. Let me tell you guys something. Anything that's coming to you good, there's always going to be blockers that's coming to block you from your blessing, right? And there's a scripture that is so true. And I just want Rodney, Pastor Jones, tell him what that scripture is I just asked you for. Just come to the mic.
Yeah, that scripture says, when I would do good, evil is always present.
Right? So I want everybody to understand that. When we, Kenan, myself, Mo, and all of you guys, when you want to do good, evil is always present. If you think that this is going to be a clear road, you're going to have people that is going to always put doubt in your path, right? Why are you buying that stock when it's red? Because that's what smart money does. Why are you selling that stock when it's green? Because that's what smart money does. Why are you listening to these guys? Because these guys have made a lot of money and they know what they're talking about. And I'm going to say something, and I want you guys to understand this. And this is, I want you to take this in the right frame of mind. You guys know me by now. If you want to be poor, take financial advice from poor people. If you want to be rich, you take financial advice from rich people. What Stockmore and Kenan and myself do is, when Kenan is breaking down what the big money bought, that's big money. Those are rich people. So what we're doing is we're taking this information and we're shoving it to you guys. We're saying, here, let the whole family eat, right? You know, if you from the hood, you know, it's like when you came home, you don't eat the big piece of chicken because the big piece of chicken was saved for daddy, right? And so we splitting this up and we feeding the family, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't let any negativity come between you and your promise. Because what God has for you is more than what you have now. And I'm going to say this again. And you guys know me by now. I don't hide who I am. The good book says the poor will be with you always, right? But I'm going to look you in the eye and say, but that is not for you. Not for you. That is not your destiny. So the poor will be with you always. But your job and my job is to take care of the poor, because we're going to be what? The lender and not the borrower. And the way we have to do it is to listen, position ourselves, and to continue to stay the course and don't let negativity come in. All right, I'm sorry, I had to get into that, right? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stay the course, because I can tell you right now, in 2008, Mo, you shared your stories with me. In 2008, when the stock market fell, I'm gonna tell you guys the God's honest truth. And I heard somebody say this, and it's true. All you gotta really do to be successful in life is to keep trying, because you only got to get it right once. You only got to be right once. I have had, Mo, how many jobs have you had?
More than a lot.
Kenan, how many jobs have you had?
Man, I'll tell you this. To be honest with you, I've had, I gotta be honest, totally honest. I've had maybe 3,
Okay.
but one of them was working in the mall, and I used to have to walk there, right?
Yeah.
I used to have to walk to that mall for like 2 miles to get to the mall, right? Just to get to the job. And I would get there, and you know me, I wear the bow tie. So I worked at Express Men's, right? I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I worked at Express Men's, right? So I get the real nice discounts on the bow ties and everything. Right. And I would have the shoes, and I would walk to the mall in my dress shoes. And then I realized, man, I need to bring some sneakers if I'm gonna walk to the mall, because my shoes, they bent up when I get there. Like, it was bad, right? So now, like, I gotta tell you this. I knew that wasn't gonna be the end for me, though. I knew that trying to work my way up the ladder of me personally working in retail at the mall, that wasn't the trajectory for me. I knew that I needed to learn how do people build wealth? How is it done? And then at that point, I realized that you could have a regular job with a regular plan and become a millionaire by retirement, if not sooner. Let me say that again. A regular job, a regular plan, not some spectacular magical plan, a regular plan, but a plan. And that'll put you ahead of most people because most people don't have a plan. They're coasting through life. They're blowing through and just coasting right on the wind, like a feather in the wind, right? But if you have a plan, like Stock Mo pulled up the investment calculator saying, hey, look, if you do this, and it didn't take him 2 minutes to explain how to become a millionaire.
Right.
Right? So it's a simple plan that'll get you extraordinary results if you stick to it. And then that's what's important to realize. You know what I'm saying? So then let's keep it going.
Yep. So it's true, man. We have to stay the course. I will tell you, in 2008, I was in sales. I was selling window siding and roofing for Home Depot. And in 2008, it was a recession. Nobody had money. Nobody could get financed. Nobody wanted you in their house. I found one low cap stock. Actually, it was a penny stock. Now, I'm not telling you guys to get on penny stock. But when I tell you that I bought that stock, the ticker symbol was KERX. I'll never forget it. When I tell you guys I bought that stock for 15 cents and then 17 cents, and then I put $5,000 into that stock. It kept up until 25 cents. Mo, that stock I cashed out at $7.25.
Wow.
So you do the math.
40 something times your money.
Exactly. And so that's what I lived off of. So, you know what? That's what I lived off of. So I'm just going to tell you that if you get the right stock that you're going to hold for a generation, and if you keep swinging the swing stock and holding the whole stock through you're setting yourself up to win, because you're not just listening to me and Kenan and Mo. You're doing your own research also. What I like about these gentlemen is we don't just give you the plays. You know, Kenan says, I got the receipts. Kenan says, here it is. When I do the fundamentals, I show you guys the fundamentals. When I do the technicals, I show it to you so you can go and fish for yourself. And so that's what this community is all about, right? And so that's what I love about this community, man. We gonna hit you with the truth, right? So hey, where we at on time? Are we past our hour yet? I don't want to go too long. We have 15 more minutes. Oh, we doing good. Hey, what you want to talk about, Mo?
You know what? I always think about some of the things out there that all the investors are going through. You're grappling with losses right now. I can tell you personally, my portfolio, down around 400,000 to 500,000 at the bottom before the last few days. That's some money that left that portfolio. I didn't worry. I had a strategy. I knew to buy through it. So you're not alone in the pain, but we got to experience this pain before we get the gain. We got to have the right moves to ride this wave up. And for those who are following a lot of different people out there, YouTubers, people on the TV, the magazines, everybody has a different opinion. But I'll tell you one thing. One thing is for sure. Every single investor, if you can follow this one thing, will make money. And this is a guarantee. And this is, if you are a long-term holder of a well-diversified portfolio, you're going to make money. Now, here's the thing. Some people like more risk. I'm one of those people. I get into triple leverage plays. I get into some of these smaller cap stocks, and that's risk you're going to take. And that's because I would like to make a little bit more money than just the S&P 500. And so I do take those additional risks. But if you are just looking to invest, and I don't want to have to go through too much, risk, the ups and downs of the market, just buy a stock like VOO, let it go, dollar cost average in 10 to 20, 30 years, it's going to be a lot higher than it is now, because the U.S. economy is not going to be stopped. It's going to continue to dominate, and it's going to grow, and you're going to see massive returns over that long period of time. Now, anything under 10 years, 5 years, a year, we don't know where the market's going to go. The crystal ball I got in front of me is no longer here. We have to do the best thing we can based on historical results. Thus, well, I thought we were bottom this week or next week. I still believe that. I'm loading up. Take advantage of historical data, financial data, study it, learn from it. Don't repeat the mistakes others have made out there who do not follow that stuff. So be careful who you watch and everything else, and follow these two, my friends here, and sign up down below and take advantage. Another station break for you here, and another happy birthday for you, Larry. But we got a great three great YouTubers here who go out there, financial educators, and we do the best we can to bring the information to you. So I always appreciate having an opportunity to come on here and share some of that.
Hey, I got to shout this dude out. Mr.
Go ahead.
Noke 200 earn DEMD Noke 200 $200.
What?
Man.
Larry's eating filet mignon.
Man, you know what? Baby, we don't have to have hot dogs for dinner tonight. Man, I love you, Noke. Man, I love you, man. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate that, man. That's crazy. Wow.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. So go ahead. You were finna say?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say, man, I tell you, you said something about a crystal ball today. I'll tell you, you know who was it? I always joke, but I got to say this. Allegedly, supposedly, hypothetically, right? Nobody's trying to get sued. Nancy Pelosi. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. When China said, oh, look, we're going to ease up on all of the FUD, they didn't say it like that, but they kind of said it like that. I swear, Nancy Pelosi, she called my phone. I said, hello. She's like, Kenan, get Alibaba calls right now. I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm telling you, if you in the chat and you went up with me in the Discord family and you went up 95% with us today on those calls, then let me know. Nancy, call me back.
Yes, please.
Crystal balls in the chat, family.
Yes. Nancy, call me before you make your next play. Okay, so Kenan, while I got you, I want you to tell me, and here's where we may differ. I want you to tell me where you see the market in the next 6 months, and where do you see the market for until the end of the year? Where do you see the market this summer, and then where do you see the market by the end of this year? Let's see if we can try to help people.
All right, so what I see, and I'm looking at the charts right now. If you go to, like I was saying, for example, go to the SPY, right? Ticker symbol SPY. Take a look at it and use it on the weekly time frame. If you look at that, I don't even know if I can share my screen. Let me see if I can. I might not be able to. I had just downloaded Google Chrome. Let me just see. So it says I need Chrome. Can you see my screen, or you can't see it, right?
I can't see it.
You can't see. All right, I'll just talk you through it. So we basically hit a support line on the SPY. The next support is at 400. This is on the technicals, right? So, I see all the crystal balls in the chat. The next support line is about 400, but there's also one at 410. If we bounce off of this and then we get, like I was saying before, the real indicator is if we get past like the 450, this would be like the beginning of a reversal. So then this is what we're looking for, right? So and we're so close. We're like $15 away from the beginning of a technical reversal. Remember though, Jerome Powell, he said he's going to be on TV again and again and again. He could say something surprising, and then that could throw the technicals out. But as it stands, we're looking for the end of the year, like close to the end of the year, to actually have some strength compared to where we are right now. So I say, since you can't tell the future, I'll let you know when Nancy calls me back. But until then, keep dollar cost averaging in, baby.
There you go. There you go. Lisa, can you play? Is that a saxophone she's holding? I can't see. Or is that that might be a trophy. I was finna say, can you play that? But anyway, go ahead. So, hey, go ahead, Mo.
All right, here you go. Here's my take on this. I've been pretty outspoken about this. We saw an event out there that happened when the S&P 500 dropped 1% last Thursday, and the VIX dropped more than 5%, which only has happened 10 times since 1990. This is the historical stuff of the market that we should pay attention to. We had the S&P 500 hit the death cross this week. We know that usually leads, everybody thinks, oh, death cross is the end of the world, everything else. But at the end of the day, you combine that with the geopolitical chart I showed you, where the average bottom is 22 days after a major event starts, the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Put it all together, and we had some really interesting numbers. All three said that in 12 months, the market was at least 6 to 7% higher, all the way up to 35% higher, depending if you go by the VIX one, where it closes down 5% or more when the S&P 500 is down 1%. That averages about 35% higher after a year, and after 6 months, it averages 16%, and that's only 10 times that's happened since 1990. And so I am very big on this market. I already thought the S&P 500, which is at 43.57 after today's run up, I've already said I believe this thing's going to finish between 5,000 and 5,200 by the end of 2022. I am extremely bullish on it. So that would put us at about 15-20% up from today to the end of the year. I'm investing like this through it. I'm putting out predictions. I'm not being shy about it. I know I'll get called out if I miss, but if we hit it, there you go. I helped out some more people out there, and my portfolio will be going higher, and hopefully a lot of yours will be as well.
So here's another thing too. I just jump in real quick. Mm-hmm. So I swear I wish I could share my screen with you. So I'm dropping my technical analysis class this weekend, this week, very soon. And I've been working on a lot of how to teach people how to read the moving averages, and looking at it right now because I just have it on my screen, which I wish I could show you. I'll show you guys later. But we're about to cross the 200 EMA, exponential moving average, for the first time since like February 17th actually. So this is a really, really, really bullish indicator. Now, again, remember, we could have the Fed or the government or something happen with the war in Ukraine or anything like that. It could ruin everything with the technicals. However, we are about to hit a technical indicator that is extremely positive. However, we could also bounce off of it and then find resistance and then keep going down. But we're seeing strength right now, and I love, love, love to see it. But either way, remember, don't get married to the direction in the stock market. I promise you this. Remember, money does not really get destroyed. It transfers to other people. So when everyone was losing so much money in 2008 and in 2020, guess what? Now we find out years later that the politicians were getting rich then, right? We find out all of these things, and we have to be a part of it, right? And I want you to be a part of it too. So we got to pay attention and we got to make it happen.
You know, it's funny how we fall for the okie doke. You know, Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, was poo-hooing on crypto, and his bank is loading up. So now I'm hearing that he bought a crypto platform. The bank did. So it's not, you know, I don't have the receipts like Kenan says, but it's funny how big money always give us the okie doke, and then they swoop in and move, and so we listen to the FUD. Some of us listen to the FUD, you know. When I want to do good, evil's always present. So we trying to help people out, and then somebody else will hear some FUD and oh, don't do that. And then you got to understand some of these big institutions are evil, right? And it's not the whole institution. Some of the people in these institutions are evil because they will literally sit on camera and tell you this is horrible, this is horrible, this is horrible. At the same time, they're buying it because they know that you're going to sell it. They're going to tell you it's horrible. You sell it. It drops down. They go in and they buy it. And we have to understand that in the whole scheme of things, that's how this thing works, good people. But when you wise up and you understand and you stop falling for the okie doke, that's what we call it back from, you know, I'm from West Side Chicago. They don't fall for the okie doke. And so that's what we have to learn how not to do. All right. All right. So, hey, you know what, man, for a station break, because I want y'all to share this with me. I want y'all to share my song with me. It's my birthday, okay? So I just want you guys to listen to this inspirational song. I'm going to skip it, go right to it. And at the end, I just want y'all to listen to it because it's our time, all right? If you don't mind. So I'm just going to play it, and we're going to listen to it. All right? Can y'all hear that?
It may be raining outside, the sun is gonna shine again. Just wait and and see. Hold your head high. The sun is gonna shine again on you and me. It may be cloudy outside. The sun is gonna shine again. Just wait and see. Hold your head high. The sun is gonna shine again on you and me. Things ain't looking so good. Just didn't turn out the way you thought that it should. Seems like it's cloudy all day long, but the storm will pass and you can sing a new song. But you gotta keep your head up high, and know that you're never alone. In Him you can rely. Your storm will pass, just wait and see. Don't ever lose faith in humanity. When the winds are blowing and the skies are gray, trust in Him, He'll make a way. Outside, the sun is gonna shine again. Just wait and see. Hold your head up high. The sun is gonna shine again. Or take your burdens and leave them there.
There's a brighter day on the way. Just pray.
The sun is gonna shine. The sun will shine again. Hold your head high. Hold your head up. The sun is gonna shine again on you and me.
Now let's go. Philippians 4:7. Everybody's going through something, but you gotta keep your head up in spite of your situation. And when you can't work it out, He'll make a way, 'cause He is good. Can I get a hey? Now throw your hands up and let it shine. Tell them, Kenan. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy's gonna come in the morning. Believe it. I'm talking to you. Just hold on, He'll see you through. Come on, y'all. All the way to the sky. Receive that. You can't believe that.
Hold your head high. The sun is gonna shine again.
Hey, I just want to say, listen, I know that you guys have been looking at your portfolios, and every day you see a sea of red, a sea of red, a sea of red for months now, since the beginning of the year. And we're not through yet. It's not over yet. But I just want to tell you guys that, man, Stockmo, myself, and Kenan Grace, we spend, and all these other YouTubers spend hours and hours and hours and hours just studying, just so we can bring you guys solid information. And we know it's rough, because you know what? The last time we did this, we talked for 2 hours and we said, how can we keep people encouraged to buy through this? How can we do that? How can we get this message over that this is the setup right here for you to be set up? And that's why I just played that song, and it's my birthday. So I wrote that song when I was going through a dark time, right? And for those of you, the message in the song is things will get better, right? And so we're gonna come out of this, and even if we head into a recession, things are gonna get better. And all you have to do is continue to buy high conviction stock. If it's a hold long, you hold long and you go. And you keep going through it. You know, Stock Mo was sharing when Mrs. Mo was going through cancer. I know how that feels personally to have a loved one going through cancer. But all you have is the hope against hope and to continue to do the right things. So you guys are doing the right things. But man, when we get back to another bear market, y'all think I'm laid back. Y'all gonna see me going crazy because we've suffered through the hard times and we're gonna do that together, right? I love you guys. What do you think about that, Mo?
Absolutely love it, man. That was a great song, Larry. I got to tell you,
Thank you.
props out. I was back here jamming, enjoying that. And, you know, we've been through the red. We've been through the thick. This is one of the most volatile times I've seen in the market since back in, I'd say, two other instances. One, back in 99 through 2001 with the dot-coms, back when I was in the business. It was every day it was a wild ride. And we know that the Nasdaq dropped 75%, lost 75% of the market back then. And back in 2007 through 2009, which the entire global financial market almost melted down. You know, you can walk into a bank and get a no income or no verified income loan for a house and say, hey, I make this. And they don't need check. You can just put down what you want. And that was a crazy time. So at this particular moment in time, I think we're going to see some brighter days ahead. And I'm definitely feeling it. I'm going to tell you right now, I do think we're, like I said, this week or next week's the low, and we're going to be riding high. And if I'm wrong, so be it. I got to be close. I feel that way according to historical data and everything else. And what I'm seeing in the market from my experience, this is it, man. You're seeing the capitulation of a lot of different people out there. I'm selling everything, this and that. That tells me we were very, very close. And couple that with what we talked about earlier, I think we got green days ahead.
Yep. Yeah, I absolutely do. Mo, and you and I agreed on the time span of what's going to happen this summer and what's going to happen by Q4. I agree. We talked about it before Mo came to, and I thought it was pretty bold for you to come and say, hey, you were the only one out there like calling it like you put a time period on it out publicly. I'm like,
thank you.
I just told the people, hey, here's what I see is going to be volatile, but I do believe Q4, but I do believe we're going to have a spurt here in the summer, right? I believe the reopening plays are going to do well. I think Disney is going to do well. I think Norwegian is going to do well. Norwegian had a nice pop today because I got some option plays on Norwegian. And I think that people still have savings pent up. People going to want to get out and spend money. It's getting warmer here. Most of the coldest weather is behind us in the Midwest, for those of you that's watching from around the world. And I believe that people are going to get on planes, trains, and automobiles. They're going to go to their favorite steakhouses. They're going to go to the amusement parks. They're going to go on cruises. All of the mask mandates are coming off. There's so many stock that you could buy right now. And I believe we're going to have a nice bump this summer, okay? And then there may be a cool down. And let's just deal with this year right now, right? Let's just plan this year out, right? And if there's money to be made, we're going to make this money together. Between the three of us, y'all making money. And then when we see that the market is shifting, hey, we're going to come to y'all and tell you guys, like I did last year. I was like, hey, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but this is what I see, all right? But we can make money until then, all right? What do you got to say to that, Kenan?
I only got one thing to say about that, and I haven't said it in a long time, but I hope everybody listening is ready.
Come on with it.
Oven mitt check. Let me see if you got them on. Let me see if you got them on. I need to see some oven mitts in the comments. Show me that you can handle the heat of these hot stocks. Let's talk about it. That's what I'm trying to see. Yep. Oven mitt check. Show me in the comments. And you know what? Shout out to Larry and Mo, because I appreciate the collabs that we do. And I want to just say this, that, hold up, air horns. My Patreon just sold out. I just got a notification that I got to open up new slots. So let's go.
That's what I'm talking about.
The family joining the Discord. Let's get it. It may have been because I was talking about that options class. I know the technical analysis class I'm about to drop. But man, let's go. Air horns again in the chat. Hold up. Let's go. I love it. Shout out to everybody. Awesome. I see the oven mitts coming in the chat too. Here we go. The family is in the building.
Oven mitts. Look at it. Look at them oven mitts.
Look, here we go. I love it. You know why I love it? Because whether the stock market is red, or green, sometimes you go to people's channels and you'll see just the negativity when it's red, it's all over.
Yep.
And then it's green, and then they flip. And then I'm just thinking to myself, what are you learning, right? When it's green, you should say, okay, we're up. This is cool. But when it's red, okay, now I see the prices that I like. And you know what I say? I might have to turn it into a t-shirt. When I see a price I like, I strike. That's what I'm trying to, come on now. That's exactly what I want you to think of. Oh, look at all of the oven mitts in the chat. Keep them coming, baby. I love it.
Yep. Hey, Mo, what area do you see that is growing? Let me give you guys what I see growing in the long term and short term. And there's plenty of stock out there that you could buy, right? Short term, I already told you guys. Cruise, there's going to be money to make on cruise lines. There's going to be money to make on Disney. Disney is going through a political lashing right now. That's what it is. If you really want to know, it's about the political backlashing. Just pull it up. I don't even want to talk about it. That's going to soon be over, right? The parks will be over. And then the overseas travel that they never took, that never came back from last year, they're going to be back in the Disney parks this year. Cruise lines, they've never fully opened, good people. Now that the mask mandates are out, let's look at some of those cruise lines, okay? My favorite just happens to be Norwegian. Then, if you want something that's going to make money in the next 5 years, that is dirt cheap right now, then you can start looking into stuff like even the metaverse right now. All right, you can start looking at in the crypto in the mana if you just want to play the metaverse. Facebook is going to be big in the metaverse. And they're not going to wait till everything is finished for the stock prices go up. They're going to start announcing what they've been doing, and then the stock price is going to start to go up. Electric vehicles, all right? But let me tell you guys something that I haven't even discussed with Kenan and Mo. There's more money to be made in charging stations right now than even electric vehicles, okay? Now, these gentlemen may not agree with me, but I see it as clear as day. We need, in America alone, 500,000 charging stations, okay? I drove a Lucid. I drove a Tesla. I looked, and I traveled this entire country, and I looked, we don't have the network, okay? And because a lot of the EV charging stations, Volta, Plug, my 3 top right now, believe it or not, is not Plug, but, and not even ChargePoint. I'll tell you in the order: EVgo, Volta, and then ChargePoint. You guys know I love Volta because it's so cheap right now. It's so beat down and so cheap right now. So the multiples that you're going to make on some of these charging stations is going to be more than you make on the electric vehicles themselves. I just gave you guys $1 million worth of information that you could take to the bank. All you got to do is look at what's going on. When they passed infrastructure bill, $7.5 billion earmarked towards electrification, EVs, okay? And then in the new bill that hasn't passed, they got another $7.5 billion. Every time gas goes up and there's sanctions, you see what happens to the charging stations. They pop because people are going to start winging themselves from gas. They want to wing themselves from oil. I can guarantee you next quarter, the EV sales of this last 2 weeks are probably be at the all-time highest. Watch when they report next year, because the people were looking at $5 gas and they says, I should have had a Tesla. My wife called me while I was at the gas station. You should have had a Tesla. So what do you got? Throw some gems out there, Stockmo.
Yeah, my opinion on some of the stocks out there, I'm going to hit you with a whole bunch of stuff here. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the EVs. You got the lower risk with Tesla. You got the higher risk. You can go with Lucid if you want pure EV. Believe it or not, though, I like Ford as well. I think Ford has a good opportunity.
I do too.
You got NIO, of course. They might be teaming up with Warren Buffett's BYD to make a lower cost for China. And so you got ARK also buying into BYD. So there's opportunities there. And then we move into the gambling stocks. My key, DraftKings. This is going to be one of the biggest industries in the United States. Do not sleep on this. It is going to roll up down the road as they get more and more states involved. There's opportunities there. The recovery plays, some of the things you talked about, airlines, be careful. Some of the airlines are losing their planes over to Russia. You got to watch it. They're nationalizing some of that. So you got to watch on some of that. Who's going to take the hit? The financials. I love the financials right now. The Fed just came out and said, look, we're going to be aggressive. We don't know how aggressive they're going to be with the balance sheet, $9 trillion. They got to start getting rid of that. That's going to be something to watch on the next meeting. I bet they announce it. They start probably with 25 billion. We'll see where they go with that. But that's my opinion on that. So there's opportunity to be had with financials. The rate hike should increase the spread between how much they're paying out in interest, how much they are collecting in interest, and that should help some of these regional banks out there. So I'm watching those. I got a triple leverage of that, and so there's a lot of good opportunities. SoFi, if you like the fintech, and I like ChargePoint the best. I like the leader in the U.S. when it comes to the charging networks. I think their size allows them to get better contracts out there in terms of bidding, and so I still like that. I know some of the littler ones, Blink, some of those. I get it. They have opportunity. They could go higher if they can start stealing some of that. I just think ChargePoint's going to dominate, and that goes worldwide as well. So I still like that. Hydrogen, we talked about that with some of the hydrogen plays out there, plug for the hydrogen. We talked about that as well for the new energy vehicles out there that are being produced in terms of using some of this different alternative energy. I'm just excited. I think there's a lot of opportunity out there. So definitely, if you're willing to take some risks, there are risks out there. It's just a question of, did we hit the low for a lot of these growth stocks that blew up all the way up to February of 2021? And since February 2021, a lot of them has dropped 60, 70, 80, even 90%. No one could get out there and predict that you were going to see a lot of these drop in 90%. It was a wild ride up, but this is even wilder down to the point that they are way oversold, in my opinion. Now, with that being said, make sure you take advantage of Kenan's Patreon. I absolutely love it. It is a fantastic place to go. I tell people, if you're looking for option lessons, I don't teach that in my Patreon. I do have one. I am long-term, a lot of that, diversifying, growth stocks, leverage plays. But anytime somebody asks me about the options, I do send them over to Kenan's place. He has some of the best options classes. He helps people, teaches them through that. So definitely recommend taking advantage of Kenan's Patreon and like I said, if you want to take advantage, just subscribe to these 3 channels and you'll get a wealth of knowledge there.
Absolutely. Please, anybody that is new right now, make sure you subscribe. I have links to both of these gentlemen in my description below. Okay. Listen, I also want to say this when you brought that up. We know that Ford, just wrap your mind around this. Ford had already earmarked $30 billion towards electrification. And then they had it out 10 years. Then they move it up to 2025, right? Or was it 2026? And now they're going to give it $50 billion. And now they're going to take the company, chop it in half, and have ICEs in one half, and then have electrification in the other half. And doing that earnings call, that's all his focus is to be competition to Tesla. That just goes to let you know how far Tesla is ahead. But I also have Ford as part of my EVs, because Ford, not GM so much, but Ford, GM has 35 billion. So the handwriting is on the wall. Don't wait until all of this come to fruition. We needed to buy these when they're beat down right now. So, but I also want to say, for those of you that are holding energy, right? I told you guys when I started selling, okay? Because you don't want to just wait and think it's going to run. You have to have an exit plan. So I sold my energy and my oil close to the top before it tanked. And I'll let you guys know on the page. Now I'm going to tell you about financials. Financials are doing well. I also told you guys that I'm holding my financials. We got 7 interest rate hikes. But at some point, you're going to have to start taking profits and cutting your positions in financials, okay? So just because something is moving forward right now doesn't mean that you hold it forever, right? And so there's some, if you're financially heavy right now because you were hiding your money, which I was doing, I was hiding my money into something. So I got into financials in December of last year because we saw this coming, but you have to know your exit. The biggest problem that most new investors have is not buying the stock, but knowing when to sell or knowing how much to sell or knowing when to take profits, okay? So, hey, any parting words you got, Kenan, and then you, Stock Mo?
Yeah, I want to say this. I want to give a shout out to Larry Jones and Stock Mo. If you have not joined Stock Mo's Patreon, he's been on point for a long time with that. I want you to go over there and join. He, in my opinion, he's one of them who started the game, who popularized it. And I got to give you credit where it's due. And, you know, I definitely see there's so much value over there that you really got to just see when someone tells you that, look, I'm investing into this, I'm heavy into that. You know what I'm saying? You go and you get to check, you get to see how it's working out, and you get to learn with a lot of people over there who are really good and really great at what they do. Larry, I sent you an email just now about a screenshot that I took because, you know, we're talking about the receipts, and I want you to see if you can open it up. And it's about the U.S. stock market during rate hike cycles. We got to take them. Take them down the history lane. That's it. Right. This is from Reuters. Right. I wanted you to share it because I can't share my screen, but I can talk about it if you share for me.
Okay.
So
I got to make sure I'm in the right email. I'll get it.
Right.
I'll get it.
I replied to the Ecamm link one.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Thanks for not shouting that out.
No doubt. No doubt. You know, like, come on now. Somebody said, Kenan 2024, I appreciate you. And Stock Curry, I appreciate you for that. Because, you know, I appreciate you, man. But we're going to take you on a little bit of a history lesson. So while we're waiting, you're going to see in a second, Reuters, right? One of the most reputable stock information platforms. You know, always check multiple sources, but they have been on point for a long time as well. They have the U.S. stock market during rate hike cycles, which we are currently in. We're in a cycle. It's not just a 1 month thing or a one time kind of a thing. What you're going to end up seeing is, hold up, Larry's about to share it with us. I am. So let me let him do that. So here we go. Take a look at this. And Larry, could you be able to zoom in at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
While everyone's waiting on that, I'll just read it. So in the past, there's been 12 rate hike cycles. Remember, it doesn't just happen on March 16th. This is a cycle. We're going to keep going through this, right? But 12 times, there were 11 of them where the stock market just basically went crazy. Look at this. Back in 1954, 14% up on the year, right? Even though they were in a rate hike cycle. And then the most recent one, December 2015, all the way. The cycle was a 3-year-long cycle, right? To 2018, 8%. Only this one on the left, that little lonely bar over there, is just the one time where we had a rate hike cycle in which the market actually came down that year. Now, you could argue that that's a fluke, but understand, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Now, we got to remember, don't be afraid because the statistics are on your side when it comes to these rate hikes, and we got the receipts right here to show it.
Okay. All right. Hey, there we go. Hey, that's the info, good people. I mean, we got it right there. I showed you guys that Stock Mo did one. Even if we hit a recession, how long a recession lasts. I did one on where the stock market rebounds during wars and the geopolitical situation. So we're not just giving you stock. We're just telling you, okay, here's where we see a buy signal even through this. And so we're just buying on a discount. So I'm glad you brought that up, Kenan, because this is this type of stuff that you get with these gentlemen, okay? Hey, Mo, what you got to say in parting words?
I just want to thank you and wish you a happy birthday once again. And, you know, it's awesome to be a part working with both of you. Like I said, we bring positivity. That's the overall goal. Hopefully bring some wealth to some people out there. And I'm going to continue to do my best to absolutely bring the best information, the historical data, and the best stocks moving forward. Once again, like I said, I do want to thank both Kenan and Larry and everyone who joined us today. Make sure you hit that subscribe for all three of these channels. Great amount of information here that should be able to help people moving forward. And if nothing else, you're going to get a smile every day because we do bring a lot of positivity and energy to hopefully brighten it up. I appreciate it again, Larry.
Hey, I appreciate you guys as always. Hey, I'm looking at this and listen, we got 3,000 people watching. I know some people came on and came off. and we got 3.7 likes. That's what I'm talking about, family. Y'all doing the thing, as they say. Hey, we're just gonna cut it off right here. Hey, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we are going to continue to absolutely do our best to keep you guys in the know, and we're gonna make money. Long-term investing, day trading, and learning options. I've been sending people to Kenan's options class, and I have not had one person that came back and said, this is not for me. Thanks, Unc, I'm making money, right? And so that's what it's about, right? And I got something for y'all, coming up. But hey, I appreciate you guys. I'm just thankful to spend my birthday with you two gentlemen, Stock Mo, Kenan Grace, and you guys, the family. I love every one of you guys. And we're going to call it right there, right? So I think I'm going to leave with my jam if I could find it. Anything else you guys got to say?
If you can't handle the heat of these hot stocks, then stay out of the kitchen and consider investing in the index funds.
Mo, you got to have a sign off. Mo, what's your sign off?
I do. I got two of them. I haven't said this in a while, but stick around because I think you're going to like what stick around. I think you're going to like what I got for you. And what's the other one? Let's get out there and make some money.
That's it. You guys know how I end this show. Live, love, laugh, and learn. See ya. What's up, good people?